Hey guys, Teab here for a look at my brand new Minecraft Doctor Who mod, and it is simply known as Teab's Doctor Who mod. So let's get right into it. So probably the first thing you're going to notice, new creative tabs of course, Doctor Who blocks, items, and mobs. In the blocks of course we've got the TARDIS, and loads and loads and loads of awesome decoration blocks, which I'll show you when we get to the actual interiors themselves, because all of these are used within the interiors. We also have these Doctor Who items, which include the sonic screwdriver, I'll show those off, the TARDIS key, the Statenheim remote, the vortex manipulator, the sonic blaster, and the Dalek gunstick. So I'll show these off before we move on to the TARDIS. We have the 10th Doctor's sonic screwdriver, the 11th, and the 13th, and they all have these unique models like so, and you can see those just right there. And yeah, they all look pretty cool. Of course the 10th is the smallest, but they all look pretty cool, and they're all about the same size in the first-person view. Now what do these sonics do? Well, you can right-click a couple different blocks and they can interact, and one of those is dirt. So you just right-click, and it makes a really cool sound and changes it to farmland. These can also interact with glass and a few other blocks, but I will be adding more in the future. For this first release, they really don't do much. In the next releases, there will be more, and you can of course suggest whatever sonic functions you want in the comments below. Moving on, we have the TARDIS key. We'll see this more once we get to the actual TARDIS, but here is the model for that. Pretty nice. The Statenheim remote, likewise, we will see this more when we move on to the TARDIS itself. This will just allow us to summon the TARDIS basically, but for now it won't do anything. The vortex manipulator, on the other hand, is pretty cool. You can see it has this nice model, looks like it's kind of on your wrist and it's opened. If you go into third person, it actually is on your wrist, which is pretty cool. And yeah, if we right click with this, brings up a GUI, vortex manipulator, X, Y, and Z, and basically we can teleport with this. So let's say we want to go to 100, 100, 100, just for simplicity's sake. Click enter, we're going to teleport there. And just like that, we're here at 100, 100, 100. Check our coordinates. Sure enough, we kind of fell, but we're basically where we said we were going to be. Our final two gadgets are the Sonic Blaster, which is also used by Captain Jack Harkness, and this just deletes any block that it comes into contact with, just like so. And our final gadget is the Dalek gunstick, which looks like this, and as you can guess, it fires Dalek lasers. And these do a decent amount of damage. Let's just kill this cat. So yeah, as you can see, decent amount of damage, and you're going to see that even more when we get to the Daleks themselves. So yeah, we'll move right into the entities then. So of course, like any good Doctor Who mod, we're going to start off with our Daleks, and here, for example, is our Dead Planet Dalek. This is seen in the first Dalek story ever, simply known as the Daleks, but the first episode was called The Dead Planet, and you can see we also have the Chase Dalek from a later 60s story. Looks very similar, but I really like the models on these. I did these myself, and I'm pretty proud of them. So yeah, let's watch these fight a villager. So yeah, you saw that they shoot the same lasers that our Dalek gunstick did, and of course they are very deadly to villagers, to players, and to Cybermen, which we'll see in a little bit. So now let's move on to our Imperial Dalek. This is from Remembrance of the Daleks, and looks like this. Very cool. Love the color scheme on this one. And our Renegade Dalek. Now if you've seen the story, you will know that these Daleks were actually in a civil war, and so they will fight each other when we spawn them in. Check that out, the Renegade Dalek won. But not for long, because the Imperials had the Special Weapons Dalek on their side. And this Dalek basically had an enormous cannon on it, so let's check that out. And just like that, the Renegade Dalek has been obliterated. Special Weapons Dalek is absolutely amazing. You can see he's got some dirt and grime on him. The giant cannon, as I mentioned, on the front. And yeah, he's very powerful. And our final Dalek is the Time War Dalek. These are the ones seen in the new series of Doctor Who. So let's check these out. Oh, they look really great too. They've got some wear and tear on them as well. The blue eye stalk this time. And these are also slightly taller. You can see the base is a little bit bigger than our previous Daleks. So they are a little bit bigger and have a teeny bit more detail on the dome, like this little tag and the eye guard like so. So yeah, that's all for our Daleks. Moving along to our Cybermen, we have the 10th planet Cybermen from the first story and also from World Enough in Time, and he looks pretty cool. Likewise, we have the Cybermen from the new series of Doctor Who, and they look like this. Also quite detailed, and I like the way they look. Now these guys will also attack villagers, however, when they kill a villager, it'll actually convert it into a Cyberman, so let's check that out. And just like that, our villager's been converted into another Cyberman. And of course, as mentioned earlier, the Cybermen will fight the Time War Daleks, just like in the episode Doomsday. Clearly the Dalek has a bit of an advantage with that ranged attack. And our final entity is K9, the Doctor's loyal robot dog. So check him out, really like the way he turned out as well. And we can tame him with a simple right click. There you go, check it out. And of course, if we had this Dalek and we went over to it, K9's going to follow us. And of course, if we attack this Dalek or the Dalek attacks us, K9 will defend us. So yeah, check that out. K9's got his own Dalek laser. And his little tail wags when he walks, that's so cute. And now let's move on to the thing you're probably all waiting for, the TARDIS. So, to place our TARDIS, we just grab one of these and we place it, just like so. And here's our TARDIS. Pretty cool model, I would say. So as I said, with our TARDIS key, this can interact with the TARDIS. We can right click and lock the TARDIS, and now if we try to right click it again, it'll say the TARDIS is locked, but we can unlock it with our key. And with our Statenheim remote, we can summon the TARDIS. Let's say we go over here. We can, of course, summon the TARDIS, and now it's over here. So now let's head inside the TARDIS by just right-clicking. And here we are. This is the 14th Doctor's TARDIS interior from the recent specials. This is basically the default interior that'll come up in the mod when you first enter the TARDIS. And of course, it uses these custom roundels, these being the Hartnell roundels. And yeah, looks very nice. We've got this custom door here, which we can right click to open, and we can head back outside if we want. Check that out, works pretty well. We can walk back inside, just like so. Of course, over here we have our jukebox, which is one of our nice decoration blocks. But finally, what you're probably all waiting for is this console, which has so many functions that you can do with it, just like so. Now, for example, this is the dimension control, and we can right click to basically change our dimension. Right now it's set to the overworld, and now it is the nether, the end, the overworld again. And let's try the nether. Check that out, see how it works. So we walk outside now, and here we are in the nether. Check that out, pretty cool. But that's not all, the TARDIS can do way more. So for example, if you went somewhere and want to go back, you can use this, the fast return control. And now, coordinates set, we can go outside, and we'll be back where we started. And check that out, we're right back where we were, and K9 was here waiting for us. Awesome. Here we have the door control. You can lock and unlock the TARDIS from here. Here we have the monitor, where you can just check your target dimension and your target coordinates, just like so. This is the coordinate control, and basically we can enter any coordinates we want right here. We also have a randomize button here, so we can enter whatever coordinates we want. Yeah, let's say we set that, and then it's going to probably put us in a block or underground since we have such a low Y coordinate, but you can do calculate Y, and this will actually make sure that we are set on the ground. So we click this, and now it says 63. And now we click enter, and our coordinates are set, and we can walk outside at those coordinates. So, turns out those coordinates were actually in the middle of an ocean, which is pretty funny. So, basically we've just spawned here, and the TARDIS is just slowly sinking down to the bottom. But as you saw, that's not all. We can also click randomize, and get coordinates that way. So yeah, the final feature of this TARDIS is, as I said, the desktop control. So we click this. And check that out, desktop set to fugitive, so check that out. We now have the fugitive Doctor's TARDIS, pretty cool. And it's got its own roundels, the Martin roundels. Here we have the first Doctor's interior. All interiors basically from now on were made by the wonderful DT10. This is the second Doctor's TARDIS. Here's the third Doctor's TARDIS. Here we have the fourth Doctor's interior, which, fun fact about this one, we've got a piston door here. And check this out, it's the secondary control. And this is probably a nice opportunity as well to show off another function of the TARDIS, which is slap TARDIS door position. And with this, we can change the door position of our TARDIS. Here is our Peter Davison interior, and it's got its own time rotor, which looks really nice, and its own roundels, and even its own little door back here. Now for the 8th Doctor's interior, this is by far probably the biggest and coolest interior of them all. We have the War Doctor's interior, which again uses the Hartnell roundels and a new series door. The 9th and 10th Doctor's TARDIS, which uses these really cool custom roundels, and also these very cool great slab blocks, which are extremely useful. We have the 11th Doctor's TARDIS, which we can see this hat stand, which looks very nice. And as well, the surrounding build is extremely cool. This is again one of my favorites probably within the show and within the mod. We have the 12th Doctor's TARDIS. This one probably is the most custom blocks. We have these roundels down here. We have these ones up here. We have these light slabs. And we have this time rotor right here in the center. And finally, we have the 13th Doctor's TARDIS. This is another one that I really enjoy and uses a lot of custom blocks, like these really cool Whittaker roundel. But yeah, this has been my look at Teab's Doctor Who mod. Hope you all enjoyed. I really did enjoy making this mod, and I really hope you're going to like playing. There will, of course, be more updates featuring more interiors, more gadgets, and more TARDIS functions. I've been Teab02. Be sure to subscribe, to follow my Instagram, Teab02at, to follow my Twitter, which is also Teab02at, to join my Discord, and lastly, to have a nice day. Goodbye.